Good morning, almost the weekend. So, some news on the DR Premier 26. The belt broke. I contacted the company, sent some pictures, and they're claiming that it's more than likely was just a faulty belt, because that's an issue that doesn't happen. That's not something that is a common issue or problem with their machines. So they're sending me a new belt. I also requested a new spring because that spring that also got, I think that spring also got stretched out so it doesn't retract the pulley system to break the blades. So they're sending me a new spring and a new belt. It's gonna take 5 to 7 days before it gets here. So sometime next week I'll be getting it. Um, So until then, I'm gonna go back to how the first videos were. I'll be using the trimmer with the brush blade to finish out this corner that I've been extremely anxious to get to. So today's video will be short. I'm gonna speed run it, and if I see something interesting, I'll pause, show it to you, and I'm gonna get started. So here we go. All right, so 30 minutes later, that's how long that time lapse was, by the way. It's probably gonna be like maybe 20 or 30 seconds long. But yeah, the trimmer, I think it's a gasoline problem. Um, those trimmers, they take that 2-cycle, that engine oil mix, which obviously it has, right? But for some reason, I I can't. I need to have it on like half choke for it to run, because if I put it on full run and completely off the choke, um, when I pull the trigger, it shuts down on me. So I need to check that. Something's going on. But I was able to get a little bit done. And let me show you. So got this corner done. Got this mesquite tree here. Actually the thickest trunk so far of all the mesquite trees that I have here on Reservoir Ranch. So this one's staying. However, I think it's going to be outside of my fence line. And over here, I have this white post, which represents my boundary. And in there, somewhere next to this white post, somewhere in here is the actual marker, that rebar that they put in the ground. I can't tell where it's at, but it's somewhere in this vicinity. So if I do this and I look straight down that way, down there you'll see that electrical pole. That's the end of my well, not all the way over there, but yeah, that's towards the end of my property. So let's do a quick walk. So I don't want this video to be super long, But I do want to take you to the end of the property, um, from this side. In one of my other videos, I think it's day 3 or 4, can't remember right now. I took you on a walk, but it was on the other side of the property, and this side of the property is the one that runs along the levee, along the bank of the reservoir canal that I got here. So I want to take a walk on this side, show you what it looks like. And here's the opening. There's the opening that I made right there and right there for the reservoir. You can see it right there. This is where I've been doing my fishing. Not a lot of luck in that section. I haven't come further out towards the back of the property, but one day I will, and I'll open up a section on this end. Now I know somewhere around here I have another marker. Let me flip the camera. I know somewhere around this section I have another marker. So you see, we've already walked quite a bit. There's the corner of my property, and I need to look at the plans and measure out how many feet the other marker is, because the marker that's somewhere in this area, they didn't put a white post or anything, so I might have to invest in the metal detector so I can come out here and look for it, because I'm gonna have to put a post there because it's not a straight line on this end. It kind of does like it goes from the end of the corner of the property, it shoots up like straight and then towards the back. So I need to find where that cut or where that break is so I can create some straight lines and fence up, because I know all of this section right here doesn't belong to me. All this stuff that's mowed, a lot of this is not mine, which is cool. I'm okay with it. So when I'm putting up my fence, I'm gonna have several gates to give myself access to the reservoir right here. That way I can have several fishing spots and see which of the spots are like give me the most action, because you never know, there might be a hole or there's something in the ground or something in the bottom of the water where the fish like to hide or where like to ambush. You know, the bigger fish like to ambush the smaller fish. And I'm almost to the end, man. It's a super long walk. One of these days I'm gonna walk the entire property in one full circle, like the entire perimeter. I'll use the Map My Walk app to check out the distance to see what it is. I'm gonna say it's gonna be close to a mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile. So here's where my property starts to narrow. Look, here's my post. They knocked it down. Like, no wonder I can never see my post. They knocked it down. And so, see, there's that rebar, there's my marker that goes in the ground. So I'll put this one. And this just got completely knocked out. You can see here's the hole it was dug into. Not very deep. And it's gonna fall. I'll leave it right there. That works. So I'll zoom in so you can see how like there's that bend. See how like there's a bend right there? It kind of goes round like that in that section. Yeah, there's where the property breaks. And I can't even see the post from here because the post is on the left side of my truck. And then look over to this side. I should have another post out here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, there is. It's right. I think this is it. There's a marker right there. The other marker is right there. So I need to see which one is. Well, obviously that one, because that one has a pin. I don't know if that one has a pin. So like I said, I'm gonna have to invest in a metal detector to find them. Yeah, this is the back of the property. This is how it looks. And I wish I can give you an aerial view. One of my next investments is to get a drone. Yeah, so I can fly a drone over the water and over the property, show everything, maybe figure out a way to get it mapped out, and so I can see where I'm going to be putting, you know, certain things in the food forest, because I do want it, you know, I do want it in its sections. Some fruits and vegetables and fruit trees I'm going to have intermingled, where I have like different varieties next to it that complement each other. I also got to keep in mind that with this what's the proper word, permaculture, you got to create canopies, right? You got you got tall, you know, fruit trees or shade trees, and then you got something a little bit smaller underneath, and then you got other plants and shrubs and vegetables on the bottom, try to create a functional and working ecosystem, which is, you know, all things that I got to learn. And I'm going to bring you all along for the ride, and we can learn together. I know there's a ton of YouTube channels. The dude from Jersey, Pregione, but yeah, love that guy, love his content. He's actually the one that inspired me to do a food forest. And man, look at that. This is one thing he does not have, is a reservoir. I know that he inherited or purchased some large acres over in the Jersey area where he's from. And I've been following that content because he's starting it from scratch. And he's got a lot of good stuff, so I'm learning a ton from him. And there's a bunch of other YouTubers that are that do the permaculture and the food forest and what have you. But a lot of them are like full on like homesteaders, like completely off the grid. I mean, that's not necessarily the goal, right? I don't want to be like fully off the grid like that. I mean, it would be nice if I can have, like, I'm gonna have my own water out here because I'm gonna have a well. There's no a well in the septic tank because the city water does not run all the way out here. But I do have power lines that run through here, so I'll have city power. But like I mentioned in another video, perhaps I can run solar panels, which are not my favorite. You know, maybe I can run solar panels, not on top of the house, but over the warehouse. You know, over the not the barn, but my workshop that I want to do. Maybe I can just load up the top of the workshop with the solar panels. That way I have nothing on top of my house, and just have batteries and the converter. That way I can run the majority of the house off grid, and only when I need to I can use the city power. But that's way down the line. That's way up in the future. I'm not going to worry about that right now. That's years from now. So with that, I'm already at the end of the property where my truck is at. Gonna walk down the bank here, walk down the levee, and I'm gonna head home. I'm calling it. Got a little bit of work done. I got to expose the corner, which is exactly what I wanted to do. And I'll take the weekend off, do some video editing, post some more videos. So if you're liking what you're watching, I know right now it's probably the same old content, but you know what? A lot of these content creators, you know, guys showing their life, you know, it's a lot of the same thing. You know, show me some love, leave a comment, leave a like, more importantly, subscribe. I would love for this channel to blow up. I mean, I don't need to have 1 million subscribers by all means, but just enough to where I can get monetized and I can start generating an income to fund what I want to do here at the Reservoir Ranch. You know, use that money to put up my food forest, fence up the entire property, get the equipment that I need to have a fully functional food forest. And who knows, maybe one day that income from being monetized will actually pay for my workshop and pay for my home. I mean, that would be the dream, honestly. So I'll be bringing you fishing videos. I wish I could do hunting videos, but I'm not seeing a sign of wildlife. However, September is right around the corner, which opens up to dove season. And I will be getting my hunting license for the migratory birds. So I will come out here and I will film that. I'll bring you along with me. I don't know how much of the entire property I'm going to get done, but I'm going to leave a section of high brush, so me and my cousins can hide behind. And I think my son's gonna, yeah, all three of my boys will actually be here because one of my cousins is getting married the first week of September, and opening weekend is September 1st, I think. It's a Friday or Saturday. That's opening weekend for dove season. So because they're military, they might get their hunting passes or their hunting licenses for free. I need to double check that for them, or they get a big discount. But yeah, we'll come out here, shoot some doves, whether we get skunked or we get our bag limit. Either way, we're gonna come out here and have some fun. So until then, please like, subscribe, follow the channel, help me get monetized, help me grow the channel, share it with your friends. And it's going to be a learning experience for the both of us. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Until the next video, peace.